What does a narcissistic emotional abuser, murderer, rapist, and child molester have in common? It is challenging to understand how some individuals in a civilized society can carry out harmful acts upon innocent people and experience no remorse, guilt, or sense that they've done anything wrong, regardless of growing up and living in a world where a present-day narcissist, murderer, burglar, rapist, child molester, or an emotional abuser has heard and experienced that the acts they do are wrong. They continue to do them. It doesn't make sense to healthy-minded individuals, so perhaps an analogy will be helpful. Picture yourself at a local park, and in this park is a playground area. In the playground area, 10 children are playing. What do you see? Most likely your answer is similar to, I see kids laughing and hanging on monkey bars. I see kids chasing one another and a few wrestling to go first up the ladder to the slide. You see kids playing and doing what normal children do when they're at a park playground. This is what a healthy-minded person would see. In the mind and eyes of a child molester, the scenario is completely different. You went to the park for exercise or to enjoy the scenery, and the children just happened to be seen by you as you experienced the setting. The child molester chose the park specifically because they knew there was a playground in the park, and because where there's a playground, there are usually children. In choosing this particular park, they thought about the parking lot location, wooded areas, and other convenient and isolated areas. Prior to watching the children, they determined where they were going to sit or what activity they were going to do in order to study which child would be their victim. As you watched the children play, you perhaps smiled, just enjoying the sounds of laughter and exuberance of youthful play. As the child molester watched, they were determining who were the leaders and who were the followers. They were determining who was strong and who was weak. The child molester was determining who would be their next meal. When it comes to narcissists, murderers, burglars, rapists, child molesters, and emotional abusers, we have to remember that we, ourselves, are so much like children. When the children were playing at the playground, they weren't looking over their shoulder watching to see if anyone was studying their behaviors. They weren't wondering whether the person sitting 10 feet away from them was going to harm them. As healthy human beings, we protect our children and ourselves as best we can, so we don't think these type of thoughts. We create environments that are as safe as possible so we can live free of these type of cares. That is why when some action occurs as a result of a human with a decrepit and very ill mind, we are so taken aback. We are in disbelief of how a human being could do such an action to another human being. Everyone's mind is not wired in the same way. The tragedies caused by a murderer, burglar, rapist, child molester, narcissist, or emotional abuser in your life were and are being caused by a human with a decrepit and sick mind. If you are in relationship with an emotional abuser or a narcissistic emotional abuser, it is imperative that you understand their mind does not work like your mind works. The best choice to consider in this situation is to invest the time in you and how to move forward with your life instead of investing the time explaining and begging them to change things.